to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the to Nissan Stadium in Nashville. With the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Tonight, we kick off the preseason with a good matchup right away between the San Diego Chargers and the Tennessee Titans. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now here's the first carry for DeMarco Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
They go with Murray again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
3rd and short yardage. Mariota. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The first carry now. This is Lacey. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. This offensive unit, often they rely on the sure-handed Antonio Gates.
We know all about his basketball background, but his football acumen, one of the best tight ends in the league.
Rivers now from the 50. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Jurrell Casey in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. Under pressure, they got him again. Carl Klug, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. On the return, it's McCluster. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out come the Titans now. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
And this one caught by Delaney Walker. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
I heard so much about the offense Marcus Mariota ran while he was at Oregon, about how people were just wide open, how he couldn't fail to hit them. But I always said the same thing. He sure as heck didn't miss them very often. Very accurate even on short throws.
Yeah, he can go short, he can go deep, obviously, but he's really good with that short passing game.
Dart thrower, very accurate. Receivers love it. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They come up in an offset eye. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On third down, Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Hey, when Marcus Mariota was at Oregon, throwing to the tight end wasn't much of an option, was it? That spread offense, you didn't have him on the field too much. Now he's got one of the best in the game in Delaney Walker.
Now, last year, Walker led all the tight ends with 94 catches. They go play action here on first down and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Titans. DeMarco Murray, his first touchdown as a Tennessee Titan. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. And Murray had a tough year in Philly a season ago. A new lease on life, so to speak, here with Tennessee, his first score.
And you know what he's falling back on? His last year with the Dallas Cowboys, where he was an absolute monster on the field. He wants to recreate that. This first touchdown gets him on his way.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. On the ground, this is Woodhead. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Defense showing blitz. Here we go now. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Here's Clemens. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. All right, watch it now, Barney.
Now Clemens. Caught left side, Williams. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Watch it now, Barney.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. He got 29 yards that time. And a really good gain there on the post route. Partner, how do you know to go to that pass?
When you're running the ball effectively and the safety likes to dive up there to try and help tackle, that's when you want to hit him over the top of the post in the area he vacates.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. So the offense has it, 6-yard line, first and goal. Now it's Woodhead. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on third and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Kellen Clemens taking it in. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Here's Castle. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Tennessee first down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green Beckham, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Another pistol look here. Green Beckham in motion right. They'll run it here. This is Antonio Andrews. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Castle. The pass complete to Justin Hunter. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Here's Brett Kern now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Picked off by Bleedy Ray Wilson. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, no, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. Suck up for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Here's Oliver. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Penalty marker is down here. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They're going to look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And it'll make it a second down. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now Clements. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 22.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Here's Clements. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Caught left side, Williams. And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And they're going to speed things up here.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 30 yards. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. And he knocks it through. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They begin here with a run by Andrews. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll come out in the pistol. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And quickly they get to the line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down following the run. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Woodhead. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you 1st downs and big plays of all styles. but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
They come out here in the eye. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They run with Woodhead. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. Danny Woodhead taking it in from a yard out. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead. Lambo on for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They start on the ground with Andrews. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Castle. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8. And he motions the wide receiver. Now Castle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught on the right side. Williams. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Boom, landed. Back down in that belly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Here we go.
Now Clements. He's got his man on the crossing route. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now the first carry for Brandon Oliver. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Here's Clemens. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Back now in Nashville. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way in. Touchdown, San Diego. Their big-bodied receiver, 39 yards. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive begins with a handoff to Andrews. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. This one complete left side to Greenbacke. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now the fullback, it's the Alabama product, Charleston Fowler. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run through them.
Yeah, able to shed tacklers. We saw it right there. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Now let's go. Blue, land it. Watch it now, Barney.
Green Beckham in motion right. Here's Castle. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. They come out here in the eye. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So
and the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice.
All right, here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. His throw incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They run again with Woodhead. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play win. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
When the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there, it doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the 2nd level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, Charles, there's an old saying, don't let a loss beat you twice.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon. When you look at it and all of your preparation went into winning this week, now you have to absorb a loss and find a way to shake it off.